Okay, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Along with me going to online classes, I do a lot of Zooms and webinars, that they offer that are for free for cybersecurity or STEM, so I could get some insight from people. And we've been doing a lot of meeting with people that's helping us find some direction. So I wanted to create this slideshow and talk about how we could look forward to our careers while adapting to things like quantum computing and artificial intelligence. So let's get started. And artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the world around us, from healthcare and finance to transportation, education, and national defense. AI systems are now making decisions that once required human intelligence. Companies are using AI to automate tasks, analyze massive amounts of data, detect patterns, and improve efficiency at a scale that we've never seen before. But as artificial intelligence becomes more powerful, it also creates entirely new cybersecurity risks. Attackers are now using AI to generate phishing emails, create deepfakes, automate cyber attacks, bypass security systems, and manipulate data. At the same time, organizations are rushing to deploy AI technologies faster that can properly so they can properly secure them. And that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? As much as we could use AI as a tool for better, people are going to use AI as a tool to do whatever they want to do. And sometimes that's to help them hack systems. Okay, so this has created demand for a new generation of cybersecurity professionals like us, like a professional who is not only understands cybersecurity but also understands artificial intelligence, machine learning systems, data security, model vulnerabilities, and AI-driven threats. This emerging role is known as AI security specialist. And in this video, we're going to break down what an AI security specialist actually does. I got to talk to one, and why this career field for me is exploding. The skills you need to learn, the certifications that you might need to get technologically involved with, so you could know what the field is about. Like certifications, uh, from the certifications I got, they give you an understanding of the field. The Security Plus, my first certification, definitely brighten my world when it comes to cybersecurity, and the levels to it. So to understand why AI security matters, we first need to understand how AI works at a basic level. Most modern AI systems rely on machine learning. Machine learning allows systems to learn patterns from data instead of being manually programmed for every single task. For example, instead of telling a computer how to recognize a cat in a picture, developers train AI models on thousands or millions of images until the system learns the patterns on its own. AI systems are now used for facial recognition, recommendation systems, fraud detection, autonomous vehicles, medical analysis, customer service chatbots, and cybersecurity automation. So a lot of people be having that fear about like this AI future. We got movies and everything like, but before we even know it, we already have so much integration already, and the more and more they spoon feed the AI to us, the more comfortable we'll get and less afraid we'll get. And then before we know it, we gonna have robots and everything walking around. It's just time. They're already using it for so much stuff, and it does repetitive tasks at such a high level. But these systems are not perfect. AI models can be manipulated, poisoned, deceived, or attacked. And that is where AI security becomes critical. An AI security specialist focuses on protecting AI systems, securing the data used to train them, identifying vulnerabilities in machine learning models, and defending organizations against AI driven threats. So think about traditional cybersecurity for a moment, like the Security Plus, or it's all digital. You know what I mean? Like uh let's say most of the crime is online, like what everybody doing now, ransomware, taking your information, encrypting it until you pay up a ransom. You know what I mean? And then they'll either unlock it for you or just take it. You know what I mean? So but when these AI systems start to get hacked because they're interacting with our physical world, like autonomous cars, or maybe the brain systems that's used for the robots that we will eventually be interacting with, a hacker get his hands on that, then we know that then it can start to have physical damage. Like think about the vacuum systems that you might see in some grocery stores or departments. You know what I mean? Those are autonomous robots. They have the map of the store in their head. So and they're reacting because so if a hacker get in there and just tell it to drive 50 miles per hour, you know what I mean, and hit people, that's the type of physical impact it have. So the jobs include protecting machine learning pipelines, preventing adversarial attacks, securing AI infrastructure, validating model integrity, monitoring AI behavior, and ensuring that artificial intelligence systems cannot be manipulated by these attackers. One major threat in AI security is something called adversarial attacks. These attacks in AI security is something these attacks involve intentionally manipulated data in ways designed to fool AI systems. For example, researchers have shown that tiny modifications to an image can cause the model to completely misidentify objects, so that could throw them off. A stop sign could potentially be interpreted as a speed limit sign by automated autonomous vehicle system. A facial recognition system could potentially be tricked into misidentifying a person. A malware detection model could potentially fail to recognize malicious software. These attacks sound futuristic, but researchers are actively studying these vulnerabilities right now. Another major concern is data poisoning. Machine learning systems rely heavily on training data. If attackers can manipulate the data that they're training with the model, they may influence how the AI system behaves in the future. Imagine attackers secretly injecting malicious or biased data into training data set. This result could be an AI system that makes dangerous decisions, produces inaccurate predictions, and intentionally behaves incorrectly under certain conditions. And we already know for now, AI systems like Gemini and Anthropic and ChatGPT, they hallucinate already. So that's a word. If you never heard of it, AI hallucinations, you know what I mean? So AI systems can also leak sensitive information. Large language models, which is another for these AI models like chatbots I just named, an AI application sometimes accidentally expose confidential data that was included during training or user interactions. This creates major concerns for healthcare organizations, financial institutions, government agencies, and companies handling sensitive information. An organization deploy AI technologies rapidly. Many companies are discovering that they do not have enough professionals who understand both cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. So there's a gap there. You know what I mean? This is why AI security is becoming one of the most valuable skill sets in technology industry. So bet, noted. Like that'll give you the edge. Know how to not only use these, but understanding the workings and the inner and outer workings of these APIs and these LLMs and these AI bots and how everything works. That'll give you a huge edge. Like I learned that in my course. Some AI security specialists work on the defensive side, helping secure AI power systems. Others work in offensive security and red teaming, where they actively test AI systems to discover weaknesses before attackers do. So that's kind of like the bug bounties that companies put out. Like here go this company, here go the information that a hacker will use. Good guys, blue teamers, or you know what I mean. Y'all see if y'all can break in the system. If you find it, let us know. We'll give you the money. Others work in governance, risk, and compliance roles focused on ethical AI, privacy, and regulatory requirements. So the legal side of it, you know what I mean? The field is still evolving, which means there are many possible career paths. One of the main reasons this career field is growing so quickly is AI is because now integrated in almost everyday industry, like we said before. Like so you gotta get that. What's that AI certification? We know someone's industry standards out there. Cloud AI practitioner, CompTIA. Believe that's the one I'm gonna go for after I get my foundational ones that I wanted first. And banks use AI for fraud detection, hospitals use AI for medical analysis, retail companies use AI for recommendation systems, when they recommend an item based on what you just bought, based on what everybody else that just bought that bought. Governments use AI for intelligence, analysts, and defense operations. Social media platforms use AI for content moderation and user engagement. Cybersecurity companies themselves are increasingly using AI to automate threat detection and incident response. As AI adoption increases, these attack surfaces also increases, and every new technology creates new vulnerabilities. This means organizations need professionals who understand how attackers may exploit systems, AI systems. Like you got to know. That's like if you're in construction, you working on houses, you got to know the plumbing, the electric, the framing, the drywall. You feel me? You gotta know how the house works so you can troubleshoot it. You feel me? Like you gotta apply that to the AI. You feel me? Like how does this work? Because I use AI a lot, and I do study it. Like I use AI, all of them. You know what I mean? Because they give you different type of results. But like AI, I gotta learn the language machine models. Like how about the next step is creating my own AI machine from the framework that one of them provided. You feel me? So let's wrap this up. So uh you should learn topics like network security, operating systems, identify access management, threat detection, incident response, cryptography, cloud security, and vulnerability management. Those all in the security plus. Programming skills are extremely valuable. So Python, give me that. Python is one of the most important languages in AI cybersecurity because many machine learning tools or automation scripts are built using Python, those automation scripts. So like we were saying, the repetitive tags, why not just use AI Python? Every time you see this, do this, because I keep having to do that 100 times. You should also become familiar with machine learning concepts such as supervised learning, neural networks, training data interference, and model evaluation. So that's the inner workings of those LLMs, language learning models. You know what I mean? Cloud platforms are another major area to learn because many AI environments run in cloud infrastructures like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, of course, the big three. Understanding cloud security, APIs, containers, Kubernetes, DevSecOps, development, security operations, concepts can give you a major advantage in this field. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of that is gonna be good. Like because I got my security plus, I'm going for the CB Core 35201 from Cisco. You know what I mean? So all that will be covered in there. But it's like we here for the self studying. The certification is one thing. What I could do and apply whenever I get that interview or meet up with my future employer or my own business, whatever I gotta do. So students interested in AI security should also explore tools and frameworks used in machine learning environments. That may include TensorFlow, PyTorch, Jupyter notebooks, data pipelines, SIEM platforms, and AI governance frameworks. Certifications could help build credibility. You know what I mean? So traditional cybersecurity certifications like Security Plus, Network Plus, CISA Plus, CISSP, or Cloud Security certifications are still highly respected. On the AI side, many students pursue AI machine learning courses like platforms like Coursera, Google, Microsoft, IBM, or universities offering AI specialization programs. The most important thing is combining cybersecurity knowledge with AI understanding. This combination is becoming extremely valuable in the field. And know that there's so much opportunity out there. You just gotta keep fighting. Like, there's not many people who you want to interact that's going to want to like talk about this world or really interested in it. But when you do get to those places, like, when I went to Perscolas, you know what I mean? That was it was big. And then I got to go to some STEM events, and that was really nice to see a bunch of people in that field. So, you know, don't think about when you're a self-taught learner, you can't be thinking about the people that you're around right now. You got to be thinking about like when I'm studying or I'm making these videos, I'm imagining myself in that workplace. I'm imagining myself back in them environments. I'm imagining myself, going against you know what I mean? Like they say, visualization. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm here for y'all. That's why this is my PIT. You feel me? So I got a lot more things coming. So let's wrap this video up, man. So the future of cybersecurity not just involve protecting computers and networks. It will involve protecting intelligence systems capable of making their own decisions, analyzing data, automating operations, influencing human behavior at a global scale. The professionals who learn these skills early may become the most valued cybersecurity experts of the next generation. Just like imagine when the internet first came out, them old heads that was on the coding. You get what I'm saying? Zuckerberg, feel me? They was